Yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Fate, and you're listening to Attack of the Beats on IllMuzik.com. 5 beats, 5 reviews. That's what I do. And this is episode number 208, and we'll get into it right away. First up, we've got David 86 with Drone Dinner. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was David 86 with Drone Dinner. Now for this one, it's interesting because what I hear is it just sounds like an intro to a beat. You know, it sounds kind of like an interlude or something. I mean, I could give you, some tips on maybe, what I think maybe you should do with what you have. But instead, I would recommend just keep everything the way it is and just use it as an intro to the next beat you have coming in, let's say. So what I would do is, leave it like that, and then the music you have here, use that, like parts of it in your beat that you drop in all of a sudden, like you're showing the listener, okay, here's what I have, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, this is what I did with it, so you just show the type of chops you did or whatever, or if you're using a synth or something, you just change up the pattern, the variation, and whatnot. But still, I like what this is because it just sounds like a nice interlude to a beat, So, try that because, it really does sound like something I'd hear on an album, where it just starts off, before the actual beat drops in, So, I like it. All right, so next up we got D-Cop with Raga. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was D-Comp with Raga. I like the drum pattern on this. It's really good. Gives a good vibe. That Raga vibe, I guess, but it does sound really good. It's just that, with just the music, since the music sounds kind of thin, with just those drums, it just makes the drums sound very dry, you know what I mean? Like, so once the bass comes in, of course that really helps, but it's just weird, because when you hear something like that, it's like you're listening to it, your brain's registering it, like, okay, I hear this drum pattern that sounds dry, and then once the other music comes in, you still kind of hear it as dry, even though it's not really, because you got the bass there to fill out that emptiness. However, I would recommend, though, when you bring in the bass, that's when you maybe bring in something else, like, let's say, for example, if you had a piano part come in, like, just maybe even just at the beginning, just like it just drops in, that just takes the person's mind off of the fact that the drums kind of sound dry, you know what I mean? So it's just weird. It's like, I've been through that before, where you're just trying to fix it in the mix, where you're just trying to make it sound more fluid, it's not so dry or whatever. But the other thing you could do, though, is with the drums, is right off the bat, is just to have maybe add some kind of saturation to it, or something, some sort of effect like that, or maybe a bit of a compression, just to liven it up a bit, because it does sound a little dry. You could add some reverb to the snare, which I always recommend and all that, but still, it sounds okay though. But still, all the way through though, it's just a nice sound, the whole melody all the way through, and then towards the end, just these subtle things you have coming in and stuff. So it sounds really, really good. I like everything. It's just that thing. It's just kind of weird how it works out that way. I hear the drums, they're dry, but then I still hear them dry. So I don't know. But other than that, though, it's a good beat. Yeah, I like it. All right, so next up, we've got Fury Beats with Does It Matter? Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Fury Beats with Doesn't Matter. And I like this because it has a good sound to it, even though it just sounds weird because you have this very subtle, like very low drum track, it's just very light and all that. And then you've got this low end, it just kind of bothered me at the beginning, where it sounds like it's just a rumble sound, right? And then you got this light drum track coming in, so it actually works together. But it's funny because the whole time listening to this, I'm thinking this is actually perfect for a movie or TV show, right? I mean, think about it. You got this playing when there's like some in a scene where like some guy's driving in his car, it's late at night, he's all depressed or something, he's just thinking about life or whatever, and he's driving along, and this is just playing in the background, and I think it'd be perfect for that. But still, it just sounds good though. I like it. And then of course the little synth parts you have throughout and stuff. It just sounds nice to put together. Even though that low end, it's weird. It's just like it sounds like this rumble, and I want to say no, change it out or whatever. But you know what? I would say leave it. I think it just works. And if you ever get into doing music for like movies or TV or something, I would definitely showcase this one and see if you can get that to work. All right, so next up we've got a tenor key with Majestic. Let's check it out. Right. Okay, so that was got a tenor key with Majestic. Now, once again, your kick and your bass sounds really good together, but it's a good kick itself. Like, it just has a nice thump to it, But it does go well with the bass. Now, the bass is a little bit heavy, but still, it just sounds good. And, the drum work is really good. I like the fact they have the snare and the hats off to the left a bit and all that. And good job on the mixing with the piano and everything. And it's just a good melody with the synth and whatnot. But I think the only thing that I didn't like was the fact that I didn't hear like enough of the actual like complete beat. The parts where you have where just everything drops in, it's good, but then you kept changing it up a bit. Like a little bit more, a little bit with the change ups. Like I think it was just a little too much. But still though, it just sounds really good. But it's just with this type of beat, this type of vibe, I would recommend just let the beat play, because it's one of those beats like I want to play this when I'm working out, you know what I mean? Like I can just picture that, right? So it's one of those, I don't know, just kind of inspirational type of beats or something. So I just want to hear it play, like don't change it up too much, you know what I mean? So, but still, it's very good. I like the whole vibe of it. So yeah, good job on that. All right, so next up we've got the last beat. It's Reject the Ronin with Not Right. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Reject the Rona with Not Right. And I really like this because of the fact that you're trying something different and it actually works, you know? Whereas, you know, the drums are different, right? It just sounds like they're kind of drunk or something. And then just the, you know, the low end, the different sounds you're using and stuff, the way it just comes together nicely, you know? And it just sounds different. And, of course, different always stands out. So I really like this. It does sound good. However, the only thing was those horns. I mean, they're good. No complaints on that. I just thought it was just too much with the horns because I wanted to hear just the drums and, you know, the low end that you have and all that stuff. I just wanted to hear that part because it just sounds so good right at the beginning. And then as it's going on, I'm trying to hear just that, but I keep hearing the horn stuff. So I'd recommend using the horn just like as a little hook, just a little hook or something. That's it. And then after that, just let it go, you know, because I think it just sounds good what you have, you know. And it's hard, right? I mean, sometimes you have something where you're trying to put together this beat and, you know, you have something, you want to try different things. But sometimes you got to remember too, right? I mean, we all have to remember that is where it's just, you know, you got a beat. Maybe it just sounds really good. Just let it go, you know, just let it play. I mean, it just sounds really good like that one part or something. So keep repeating it or whatever, you know. So, but anyway, still, the horn sounds really good. Just a little too much of it. But good job on the experimentation. All right, that's it for me. I'm Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending your beats in. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat is, the winner is, drum roll please. Gutter Tenaki with Majestic. Let's check it out.